And today, we have drinks.
Ha ha ha, this should be fun.
We both have screwdrivers.
Yeehaw. Oh, wait.
Ooh, clank.
Cheers. So
Let us something good.
Let us know what you're drinking in the comments.
Ooh, that sounds good. I have my mouse and I don't know what to do with it.
Well, I could think of a few things.
Boogie you.
Yeah, well, you kind of walked into it. Yeah. Today on Real Talk. No.
Welcome to Mistress Magi. No, it's not that. I swear, I'm not even done one. Welcome to Crazy Ladies Podcast with Mistress Magi and Mr. Magi.
Heyo.
Today we're going to be talking about the stupid Bird Box Challenge.
Yeah.
And the fun that has come of it.
Mm-hmm.
And YouTubers that have made it that way.
Yeah.
At least one that I know of.
Like, the thing I don't get. We hear it almost every other day. With the way, not just YouTube, but TV and media, visual media influence kids and things like that. And video games, violent video games are making the kids violent.
Video games are the reason that kids are violent today.
Right?
In which my personal opinion is bullshit.
100% agreed.
But when it's an influencer in which they really look up to and is a real person, that's a different story.
Yeah. Well, the thing with YouTube, it's, as I've said before, I'm not sure if I said it on here, but it makes the YouTube celebrity is more reachable, more attainable, yeah. Like, they're more down to our level to where we can go, hey, that, I believe that's an actual real person, right?
Yeah, I could be just as big as they can be, so therefore we're the same.
Yeah, exactly.
I can do what they're doing.
Like anybody will admit, we have a list of YouTubers that we would love to meet, but
if they went out and did stupid shit, we wouldn't follow along.
Yeah, obviously, right? Like, if they didn't follow our core
beliefs, our core values.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But, and I get there are some YouTubers out there who make entertainment and do what they do because it will spark a reaction, right? Good or bad, it's still a reaction.
Yeah.
Right? So, but this Bird Box Challenge,
it's getting to be ridiculous.
Yeah.
It's dangerous. It's probably more dangerous than the Tide Pod Challenge, which, by the way, if you're doing any of these challenges, you dumb. Yeah. Knock it off. Yeah. I will be your mother for the day. You do that, I will beat your ass.
Like, see, there are some good challenges out there and good things.
The ALS challenge.
Right, the ice bucket challenge that went around. But
key thing is, don't do that shit in the wintertime.
Yeah.
You do it in the wintertime, you're just dumb.
You're taking that on yourself, right?
Yeah.
And it just
if you want to do a challenge, do it within the safety measures.
Yeah.
And Tide Pods, not safety measured.
Yeah, clearly. 'Cause,
poison.
Drinking laundry soap is a good idea. Just saying.
Yes, back when we were kids, the common thing to do would be to wash your kid's mouth out with soap.
Yeah, but that was a bar of hand soap. Like,
yeah.
Most hand soaps now are that non-toxic, you can eat it. Tastes terrible, but
yeah,
you're not going to...
Most of them come with, more stuff in it than they used to. They used to be, lard and stuff like that. Mind you, back when we were kids, they probably still had stuff put in it.
Yeah, oh yeah, for sure.
But
like hand soap is definitely
You got the
more...
antibacterial in it now, and everything about it is just, it's not good for you. But at the same time, bar soap I don't think is as bad for you as, say, the liquid soap.
Yeah.
And it's certainly not as bad for you as Tide.
Well, yeah, laundry soap's more chemically designed.
Yeah, it's heavier soap. It's more concentrated.
Unlike bar soap is, I don't want to say natural. I mean, there are natural alternatives out there which have been great, and we know of a few that are really good. But still don't want to eat them. No.
And that's the thing, like nowadays, like laundry soap is more concentrated. So if you were to like try something like that with the old soap, the one that which you had to like practically pour a gallon into your thing before it start working. If you did something with that, you wouldn't get enough in your mouth to cause as much damage. I'm not going to say it won't cause any damage because it's still heavy soap.
Yeah.
But it wouldn't cause as much damage as a Tide Pod would right now because there's so much more in that itty-bitty little package than there was in that gallon that you poured in when we were younger.
Well, yeah, just over the last few years, 10 or so years, they've been working on trying to concentrate so they can make the bottle smaller but make the soap last longer, right?
Yeah,
so that's
exactly.
the idea behind it anyway.
Yeah. But this Bird Box challenge has gotten out of hand in the same way as Pokemon did. When you do dangerous stuff like try to drive a car and you can't see or you're distracted by something, that is extremely dangerous not only to you, but you could kill like pedestrians. You can kill babies. You can kill other people in other cars. You're putting more than just you. You know what? You want to become Darwin's example? Wean yourself out. But don't take somebody else with you.
Yeah, exactly. And Darwin's example, that's funny. Well,
I forgot what the words were. Okay.
Well, no, that's exactly
survival
right.
of the fittest.
And to be honest, I think there's a lot of young people out there who don't know what a Darwin Award is. And, well, you don't want a Darwin Award.
You really don't.
Yeah.
There are some stupid-ass people out there. And you know what? As kids, yes, we've done some stupid things. Luckily, again, before YouTube. But I remember, like, touching the end of a curling iron because it's like, I wonder if it's really hot. I was 7.
I kind of grew up in country and had access to a cow farm and...
ran across cow patties.
Yep, cow patties. It wasn't cow patties in the field. No. It was the whole pit.
Where they stuck them all.
It was a pit where they piled it all. Yeah, that was kind of scary. Learned my lesson that day. Now, to my defense, it was in winter months, and
you didn't realize that it was new.
The old stuff at the back was frozen, so we went across that. My cousin and I. We went across that, and the frozen stuff was good. It was until we got to the fresh stuff right at the front. Thankfully, it wasn't piled too deeply. But, when people said, man, I've been waist deep and shit. And I said, yep.
Literally.
You're being figurative, but I've been there literally, and it's not fun. I laugh about it now, but it was scary.
It was scary, I'm sure.
But no, I was going to say also they have electric fence for cows.
Oh,
and
God.
Cows...
What did you do?
Their skin they're a little tougher, a little thicker than ours. Well, it was kind of, how bad does this sting?
I've done that with a knife in the light socket.
Yeah.
Like a knife in the outlet.
Like, it's not
it's scary when it jolts you.
Cow fence is, I mean, as long as you're not, like, grabbing full on to it, it's not
Touch the back of the hand.
It's not going to... Well, I don't want to say it's not going to hurt you.
Oh, no, you'll get hurt. The same as I did with the power outlet.
It hurts like hell.
It does. Don't do it, children.
Yeah.
Things not to try.
We've done it for you, so you don't have to do it. If you don't grab onto it, it won't kill you. Obviously, don't use both hands, but...
Well, even still, one hand certainly don't do, because even if you're grabbing a hold with one hand, you're still gonna get yourself in trouble.
Yeah. But we just did the quick tap, right, with the hand, and that, and yeah, it gives you a good jolt.
Is that why you're turning gray?
Yeah. I still, even though like we just kind of roughly touched it, not as bad as my one cousin. Poor girl. Well, it was kind of her fault, and kind of just
curiosity.
Kids being well. This one wasn't curiosity. We were playing we were playing tag or hide and seek, something with a lot of running, and my uncle, he sectioned off a new part of the pasture for the cows when we didn't know that he'd done that. And my poor cousin, she ran full tilt into an electric fence and got clotheslined by it, and from left to right ear, she had a nice red smile on her neck. So she was bandaged up for a few weeks, but all in all, she healed up pretty good. Nothing permanent.
Nothing permanent. That's good. Aw.
Because it was like, she hit it and then hit the ground, right? So she wasn't caught on it or anything like that. But yeah, no. Another electric fence story actually just happened a couple years ago.
No. Why don't I know this one?
Yeah, you know this one. I told you this one.
We'll find out in a minute.
Yeah, I was with my brother. I was helping him out. He has a small chicken farm. And he got this new electric fence. And we set it up, and he had a lot of it, so he could make...
So that was about 3 years ago.
Sectioned pens. And well, we got all the fence up, and then we got it turned on, and it was working. Well, one chicken, they figured out, because chicken's feathers are kind of thick, so if you don't have your fence set properly,
then it doesn't really do anything.
Yeah, like it still lets off a shock, but it's not as bad.
Hard enough to actually be bothering them.
Yeah, so this was it was kind of like chain link fence, but it was made out of nylon.
Okay.
Right? So it was a little flexible, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it had the squares. Well, this was a smaller chicken.
So it was able to get through the squares?
It was only like a month or two old. So yeah, so it got through the squares as we were setting it up. Like we just got it set up, so of course, right? And so we got this little chicken boxed in, and there was a car between us. So my brother was at the front of the car. I was at the back of the car because the chicken ran under it. And then I think my nephew was with me, and he scared it from the side. Well, the car was also close to the fence, so chicken ran out the side close to the fence and started running up the side while I reached out with my hand to grab the chicken.
Oh, no.
I missed the chicken, and I touched the fence. Now, luckily, and the funny thing is that I had gloves on, and I felt it through the glove, and I did a dance or two, and like it wasn't enough to,
to really permanently
hurt,
do something.
But you felt it, and I was like, "Ooh, I'm not going to do that again."
Oh, too funny. But yeah, no, when it comes to stupid stuff out of curiosity, stupid stuff out of just accident, okay, yeah. I get it. But when you're doing it on purpose, like what was there, the light yourself on fire challenge,
yeah,
the Tide Pod challenge, this challenge, which, okay, if you're walking around in your living room and you're hitting your chair and flipping over your couch, okay,
yeah,
whatever.
But even in your living room,
you could still hurt yourself quite badly.
I don't know about you, but desks are pretty fucking hard.
Yeah, but yeah, if you're doing that, then and you're doing it in a relatively safe place, okay, it's not
someone
that bad
there
of a deal.
with you to kind of help you.
Yeah, and doing it on your own and trying to film it or whatever, you never know how badly you can end up hurting yourself.
Yeah, exactly.
No matter what it is that you're doing. But when you sit there and you choose to get behind the wheel of a car and drive without being able to see,
mm-hmm.
you a special kind of stupid.
right? You know, and there's a show, Mythbusters. Most of us know that show. They did an experiment on it where they took a blind person, like a legally blind person, and then one of them sat in the back of the car and gave directions to help the person steer. But they did it on a closed course, nobody else around, safety measures in place. And it couldn't really hit anything. Yeah, and safety measures.
And I think that they had like a secondary brake or something like that.
Yeah.
So that it would be perfectly fine.
A bad, dangerous spot, and they can hit the brakes and bring everything to a halt, right? Plus an emergency kill the engine button in
so they did everything with safety measures in order.
It was thought out.
Your normal car doesn't have that.
Yeah, it was thought out and planned, and for most things that could go wrong were accounted for. Most things, because you can't always prepare. But
I don't know who this is, but it's like a 17-year-old girl got behind the wheel of a car and ended up taking it into traffic and hitting another car.
Yeah.
And I think that is like completely ridiculous because you could have killed someone.
Yeah, and you know, one thing that really, really drives me nuts about, you know, people that do this. They're the ones that think they're being funny and smart and whatever, right? They do the stupid blindfold challenge, and you know, and let's say nothing bad goes nothing bad happens,
wrong.
Right? Yeah, nothing goes wrong. You know, great. But
you still
I'm a pedestrian. Let's say I'm a pedestrian on that street, and I see this person, they're weaving and whatever, and I look at them and go, "Oh man, that person's being stupid." You know, doing something stupid. You know, but the person driving and doing the challenge switched the roles. If I was the one doing that and they were the pedestrian, they'd be some of the first people going, "Oh my God, look at that person! Look
at how stupid they're being." Yeah,
right.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's something that drives me nuts. That a lot of people today don't.
They don't understand that. If you are a 17-year-old girl, I'm sorry, but we've already got a bad name for being bad drivers. Guys seem to think that women are bad drivers. You do not need to prove them right. I prove them wrong.
I got something to say here. About 95% of women drivers are bad drivers.
No. Because if so, then your insurance company would be a lot harder on females than they would males. I have seen both be stupid.
My argument, though, is that you ask any male who's been in an accident, they'll tell you.
Small problem with that.
They'll be like...
This is the one where we differ quite a bit on opinion.
They will be like, yeah, I was going along, and then this girl in this white car just freaking cut me off, and I swerved to avoid her, and then I hit this guy over here.
One thing, though. If a guy goes to jail, does he blame himself for the crime?
Not usually.
So what makes you think that they're going to blame themselves for a car accident?
Well, what about women? Do they stand up and go, "Hey, dude"?
Actually, in jail? Yeah.
No,
they do. They do. They're the ones who are like, "No, I followed a stupid man. It was my own fault. I was one who did it." This has actually been proven. I'm not going to quote where I found that whole study, but
what do you say to me when I bring up studies and shit like that all the time? It's just yeah, you know.
The studies in which you follow are ones in which, of course, are made up by men to get other men to get them to get what they want.
I love how you're tiptoeing around it.
I am tiptoeing around it because I'm not trying to be crude here, okay? I have fully
admitted that there are a lot of those studies that, I agree.
And it wasn't...
But
they actually did interviews. I'm not quite sure where that was. They did interviews in prisons. Kathy Griffin. Griffin? Am I saying her name right? Gifford.
Gifford,
she did one in which was like the male group and the female group, like female and male jails, and she had the same experience. Men are like, no, I'm not in here for me. I was framed, and the women are like, yep, that's right here. We were dumb. She actually did have something like that. She's not my favorite person in the world, but
also, isn't it statistically that a lot of men are in jail for more serious crimes than what?
I'm not quite sure about that one, but men are more anger prone, which means more violent acts.
Yeah, I'll give you that.
Women are more bitchy. Men are more fighters. Women fight too, but we have this weird code. We'll fight, but as soon as the police come, it's like, no, she's my best friend.
Not so much anymore. Have you seen those fights on YouTube?
I know.
Girl takes a bloody shovel to her and ping.
I know, but if a cop came around, it would be like, yeah, no, she, right here.
Yeah.
Girls stick together in those
She'd get up, no, I ran into the shovel.
It's okay, we're good.
Don't check her phone, but I ran into the shovel.
It's weird. It's really weird how it is that we do that. Men will just sit there and fight and, constantly try to fight even if the cops are there. I'm not saying everybody's like that. But, yeah, it's really weird. But anyway, on with the topic that we're supposed to be following.
Excuse me.
We need to come up with things which you guys are maybe asking at one point because we're sitting here like, well, what do we talk about?
Yeah.
I don't know what to talk about. What do you want to talk about?
Well, I mean, we could.
So I said, let's get some alcohol and make it fun.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, we always want it to be
always
fun
have
and
fun.
Entertaining. Right?
We always have fun. Like, even right now. A little bit of an argument, we still have fun with it.
That's right.
He knows I think that he's an asshole. He thinks I'm a bitch. We're good.
Yeah. That's the standing agreement. And I'm okay with that. But no, this Bird Box challenge. Like, I get... It's
Bird Box, not Beer Box.
I said Bird Box. Rewind it. Mark the time code. 24 minutes.
By the way, I will admit, I was wrong that other time, in which he did say 50 and 10 and not 5 and 10. So,
See,
I will admit it.
I'm glad we're recording a little bit. I get proven right a lot of times.
I say that you're right when you're right.
Yeah, but you say
how often are you
say
right?
I'm wrong when I'm right.
I say that you're wrong when you're right until I can prove it.
I'm talking about the stereotype of that women are always right and men are always wrong.
Yeah, no, not in this house.
Yeah, not in this house. We're both right equally amount of time, which is about 0% of the time. No, we love each other. Can you tell?
I love my husband. He's awesome. He's my rock.
About this Bird Box challenge. It's a great thought experiment, right?
It's a great experiment. For when you're in a closed area.
Yeah, exactly. And we tend to take our vision for granted, right? And yeah, as kids, we've all done that.
I've
put
walked
the blindfold
around the house.
on and try to go around the house. Yeah.
But now, I never once thought, it'd be a great idea to get into the car and do it. I never thought to do it on a street, out in the middle of the street. I've run out on the street, 7 years old again. I have run out on the street just because it's like, oh, no, I could cross here. And it was really, really busy at the time, so I could have gotten myself killed. I will admit that. I was stupid, and I was 7, and I did not have proper guidance at that point.
But young kids... 7 years old, younger.
Our second oldest did it.
They just don't.
Which, by the way, happy birthday, baby.
Happy birthday. They just, they don't.
They don't think. They don't have that cognitive thought.
Yeah,
at that point.
It's like.
But you'd think at 17 years old, or, even 16 years old, or 15 years old, or anything like that they'd have that cognitive thought. Maybe I shouldn't do that because, I could die.
But...
then there's the immortal effect.
Right, exactly. And we all go through it. We've all been there where... Well, okay.
Most of us.
We're not all shut-ins.
I wasn't a shut-in.
I know. That's
just
a different
tortured.
different topic for a different time.
No, we already had this conversation. It's episode 2. 1, episode 1.
Anyway, so those of us who were able to get out in the world have this little bit of invincibility complex.
Nothing can hurt me.
Yeah. I'll admit, I don't think I had it as bad. But
no, but a lot of kids do.
But I mean, I'll admit I had it when I was a lot younger.
Yeah.
But why I had it to why I didn't have it when I was a teenager, when most people go through it. Again, country living, being around farm and farm equipment, and that I can remember one time specifically. I hit the mic right there.
Way to go, Idaho.
I remember one time specifically. There's something kind of, I don't know. Some people find it boring. If you go and watch a video of it, it's boring as hell. But when you see it live, it's kind of interesting. So you have a wagon, and it flows down into an auger, and then the auger takes it into what they call a grain bin. Basically, a tower that holds grain. Silo, yeah. Anyway, so I used to love watching the auger take the grain and just watch the pile kind of sink down and go. And now the auger that I had, it had like a plastic bin around the dangerous part, right? But the top of it was open, completely open, because the grain had to flow in, right? Mm-hmm. Obviously. And I remember looking, and I didn't reach in to grab the auger, but I wanted to feel the grain fall through my hands as it was going down. Well,
so you were a dumbass.
I didn't even get that far, though, before my dad was behind me, gave me a swift kick in the ass and said, "Get your hand away from that, and it's fine you look at it, but you stand up and you don't reach in there at all." So having that experience, and also growing up around like, hey, big tractor,
and it also helps
left in gear will run you over.
It helps, but that's saying it kind of makes it sound bad, but you've had a friend die at 16 years old.
Yeah.
So you know that, being 16 years old, you're not invincible.
Yeah, exactly.
Things can happen no matter what age you are.
And I've had some other things happen with other people that they haven't lost their life, but if I wasn't there, they would have.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Whereas I've seen, well, they don't know this, but my brother passing away at 10 years old. So,
but
he died of pneumonia, so nothing tragic. He was severely handicapped, but
yeah. But the thing with that is, what I find is that's like, well, he was sick, right?
Yeah, he was sick.
It's more
but
he died of.
But it also kind of gives you that whole thought of it doesn't matter what age you are, you can get that sick.
Yeah.
You can have things happen to you.
Mm-hmm.
And yes, okay, I became suicidal at that point. Kind of was like, come on, bring it.
Yeah, well,
but
there's other circumstances as well.
Again,
right?
episode 1.
Yeah.
I'll link it in the description below if you want.
Probably a good idea.
But yeah, no, it's, I grew up, I wasn't able to do this stupid stuff, but I also have, again, that logical mind where if I was to do something along that lines, like I've wanted to. I've had the thought of throwing a full can of pop over the bridge near a highway.
Yeah, but who hasn't though?
I know,
really,
but it didn't. Don't even think about it, right? It's just like, I wonder what would happen. Oh, damn! Maybe I should not be thinking that way.
Right.
I don't know what it is. I don't know if anybody else does it. If you have, let me know. But I don't know anybody else who has full on been mid throw, not let go yet, and be like, hush, no.
Yeah, better not. Most people let go. No.
Gosh, I hope not. My God, that would not be good. But no, I've done stupid stuff, and it's because I've been curious. It's like, well, what would happen? I've stapled my finger because it's like, oh, that's not really gonna hurt, is it? I was younger than 7 at that point.
Yep.
I did so on purpose. It hurts.
Yeah, anybody wondering, it does hurt because
It does.
I've done it in my adult life by accident. It hurts.
And I'm just like looking at it like, I wonder. Damn.
Yeah.
Help.
Help, please. Yeah.
I've done a lot of
I
stupid
know.
stuff on my own, but it's things in which it's not
The only people that are affected are
Me.
ourselves.
me.
Yeah. Maybe
anything-
maybe a little trauma to our
when-
moms.
Not mine.
Well,
Running out into the road, okay, that's like I'm gonna traumatize the person who hits me, and the person who had to slam on their brakes because I was being a dumbass. But other than that, I traumatized myself probably way more than I traumatized anybody else.
well, I remember a time when I was young and
Story time with
yeah.
Mr. and Mistress Magi.
Well, it's kind of it's not all about the Bird Box Challenge. It's about stupid things, right? And
Yeah.
the Bird Box Challenge while driving or walking out in public without a hand.
Running through the roads. Like
yeah.
the YouTuber that we were talking about.
Yeah,
I'm not
exactly.
naming names because
But
I'm not
they're
going to give him that advertisement.
But
I'm sure you could look it up,
I'm
though.
sure you guys have probably figured it out by now. But, doing things like that's the stupid side of it, Like I was saying a little earlier, it's a great thought experiment. And,
But have the safety measures.
Most of us have our vision. And, we're spoiled with it because we take it for granted, but we don't.
We take it. We think that it's always going to be there, and we don't
Right.
think of a
And
time
then-
in which it's not going to be.
Right, and then the idea of the Bird Box. We haven't seen the movie yet, but we know kind of the idea. To be able to see things.
They had to
and
live their
like-
life that way.
Yeah, they had
We
to.
don't.
To all of a sudden be blind or have to wear a blindfold and not see these things, right? But yeah, so anyway, going back to the story of stupid things, when I was younger, I was a fan of archery in general, and I still am. I just haven't done it in a little while. I enjoy it. I think it's a fun, cool sport and a great talent to have. Well, my grandparents had a old longbow. It was green, and it was taller than I was, but I loved this thing. So I was determined to make my own arrows for it because they didn't have arrows for it. And I was determined. So I had some wood dowel. Well, the part that's on the end of an arrow that holds in the string, or the string holds the arrow.
Oh, so the base of it, where the feathers are?
Yeah, which I found out is called the knock. Well, I thought I would just cut my own knock in the end of these dowels. Well, I didn't use a handsaw. I didn't even use a file. No. I thought, I'll just grab the biggest friggin' knife I can find in the drawer, the butcher knife. So, and I don't know how I arrived to this thought process, but I'm right-handed. I'm dominantly right-handed. I'm pretty good with my left hand. I'm depending on
somewhat ambidextrous.
Somewhat ambidextrous, right? So I took this dowel, and I gave myself probably 4 inches above my hand, thinking that'll be okay if I slip. Nothing will happen, even though I'm using like a 3-inch blade at its thickest point. But so I'm holding it against the counter, and counters have a rounded
Bevel,
edge to them, right? That front edge is rounded.
Yeah.
You don't realize how rounded that is. So I'm holding it there between my thumb and palm, right, up against there, and I take my knife in my left hand, and I start going, right, and the first couple cuts start going pretty good. Well, then the tip of the blade kind of got stuck a little bit, so I gave it some oomph, and I slipped with the knife, and I sliced between my middle finger and ring finger, closer to the middle finger knuckle on the palm. put a nice
This is
big...
a palm. This is the back of the hand.
okay, the back of the hand. Sorry. I know this like the back of my hand. What's that? No. So now, today I have a big scar because I had to get stitches. I think it was like 7. But I sliced that open, and I sliced it open bad. And I got a cloth. I put a cloth on it, and I went to my mom calmly too. I was completely calm.
It's amazing that kids can be so calm when it comes to stuff like that.
I went to my mom, and I'm like, I think we need to go to the hospital. And she went, oh, what now? I was a little accident prone. So that's
where the second youngest gets it.
I was a little accident prone. And I pull the cloth off, and I show her, and I just pull the skin a bit because, when you see the cut, you're trying to see how bad it is, right? And you kind of pull it apart a bit. Yeah, I could see tendons and knuckles. It was like, yep, okay, God. We're going to the hospital.
Sensory warning. You might get a little grossed out here.
Yeah.
Too late, I know.
So we went to the hospital, and I was doing fine. I was calm. I was great until they wanted to stick a needle in it to freeze it. And I started freaking out.
Knife. Needle, right? Knife. That's like me. Needle, birth. Needle, birth. I'll take the birth.
Yeah. All in all, I got stitches, and, if anybody's had stitches, that whole jazz. And
I have.
I healed up pretty good. Left a
Mine
normal,
dissolved.
I guess a normal scar. I didn't have the fancy ones. I had to get mine cut out. That feels weird, by the way.
Mine was in my tongue, so
kind of makes sense then.
Couldn't do it.
Yeah.
The other way. That would have been very interesting. So I think that we should continue this on like a part 2 if everybody wants to hear.
Yeah, if you want to hear some fun stories.
I've still got a few more stories in my bag. So I guess it's just stupid shit kids do.
Stupid shit kids do, and
that's our title.
Don't be stupid with bird boxes.
Yeah, just don't do any of... Okay, I'm going to be the mom here for a minute. Don't do stupid challenges. If there is a chance that you might die or hurt yourself seriously, don't do it. Mm-hmm. You do it, you're dumb.
Yeah.
I like smart people.
Now,
I do.
I'll admit, there is 1 or 2 challenges. They're kind of one and the same. They're kind of dumb, but I can appreciate them.
Are they dangerous?
No.
That's the thing.
No, they're not dangerous. They're kind of
I'm okay with dumb. I'm okay with pointless.
They're kind of pointless.
Don't do something that's going to hurt you.
But it's that whole Coke can between the breasts. Hold it up. Can you do that? Or the pencil under the breast holding.
Okay, that one.
It can be hurtful to some people. I get that side of it. I mean, that's a whole different issue. But
it could be hurtful
the point is
for the girls, the smaller.
Yeah, either the smaller. But I mean, if
it's something stupid like that, okay. I'm one who does not believe that you should be doing the Charlie challenge because I think that one is completely dumb and, you never know. I'm not saying for 100% the demons are real. I don't think I want to test that with my house.
You don't want to mess with something you don't know.
No, because, I personally believe in that kind of stuff, and, it's something in which scares me. It's like, what the hell are the kids doing today? But it doesn't scare me as much as the Tide Pod challenge, as, driving your car with a blindfold on, as running out in traffic with a blindfold on, as doing anything stupid with a blindfold on.
Well, yeah, obviously...
I'm okay with you gotta live and learn. You gotta learn on your own.
Yeah,
somebody can sit there and tell you, like, no, don't do this.
Right.
My mother told me not to go outside without my shoes on, not to play ball in the house. I did both of those things, and I got the repercussions from them. Mm-hmm. Don't play with your knife and fork at the table. Okay. Let's try it, see what happens.
Yeah.
That's all stupid shit, but I was also really, really young.
Yeah, exactly. The time...
Driving. Now, I will take the blame of riding my bike around the complex with my eyes closed, so I kind of sort of did this, but I hit the curb.
Yeah.
I hit the curb and went ass over tea kettle and really hurt myself. But, it's...
But even still, like...
I stayed, obviously, close to the curb the entire time.
Right?
I didn't go too far out in public.
Yeah, but, like, we're both, we both drive, and, when we go out, we usually have a van full. Like, we take our kids with us, and...
So that's 6 of us in one car.
Yeah, and the idea of being out there while people are doing this and being stupid...
You could kill my baby.
Exactly.
You can kill my babies, plural.
Yeah.
And I don't think that anybody wants that on their conscience.
Yeah.
Do you really want to be the one responsible for killing a baby? For killing somebody?
Yeah, I said it to myself as soon as I got my license. I said, if I ever got in an accident where I killed somebody...
Yeah, you wouldn't drive ever again.
I'd be done. I wouldn't drive.
No, same here. You don't realize at 16, 17 years old that your actions have consequences. Mm-hmm. Texting while driving, driving blindfolded, just drinking and driving. These are all things that have consequences. Hell, doing something wrong on the road can have consequences.
Yeah, just as simple as like
2 days in a row, I think it is. I've gone out there and have gone into the turning lane and somebody has come into my lane heading straight for me. Mm-hmm. 2 days in a row with my kids in the car.
Yeah.
You have to think about the other people and know that it's not just you and just some random Joe Schmo. These are people with families. Mm-hmm. This girl could have killed someone. And then she'd have to go to jail for that.
Yeah.
She'd have her license taken away for sure. She'd be under she did it on purpose. So it's no longer manslaughter at that point.
No.
It's murder.
Malice.
You went out specifically to drive your car blindfolded. You kill somebody, you are going to end up possibly with murder charges.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I had a point. I lost it.
There was one, we didn't know this girl, but it was a guy that we knew. His daughter ended up driving while sleepy even, in which so many of us have done before.
Oh, yeah.
We've all done it, but she fell asleep at the wheel and ended up killing somebody in another car. You remember, you probably don't remember right now, but you will remember
right this second.
When I say the name. I don't want to sit there and say her name. But she went out, she had to tell her dad, hey dad, they've got me, I've broken my leg, I think it was. And I fell asleep at the wheel and I killed somebody, and she's just devastated. Like, she's so devastated, but now she's in jail because she did that. Mm-hmm. And, you don't think about the consequences of what it is that you're doing. Driving while impaired, driving while intoxicated in any sorts of way. Like, just getting behind the wheel and not being responsible, you are taking not only your life, but everybody else's life in your hands.
Yeah, and, the funny thing is, I remember what I was going to say. The thing is, when we drive a car, no matter how small or how big it is, and I find in today's world, we don't realize that we're driving like a 2,000-pound killing machine.
No.
Right? Like, cars aren't light. Cars are heavy. Even if they say this is new, it's so light.
It's the safest car in the world.
And yeah, it's safe. If you got in an accident, if you hit another car, you would be safe, right?
You hit a pedestrian, you hit another car, you could end up seriously killing somebody.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a sad thing to see. Like, we've seen it here, with but what was it? 2 little girls killed by a car. And, we've seen a lot in this area, which is, I think, probably the thing that scared me most when I was in my car accident. Mm-hmm. It's, I'm going to die, I'm going to die, I'm going to die. And, you don't think about that until you've actually had to deal with those consequences. And I think that that's maybe what made me such a, driver, safe driver. Mm-hmm. I'm a very meticulous driver. Because I am terrified that I'm going to harm somebody, and then I'm going to feel guilty, and then I'm not going to be able to survive.
Well, yeah, and it takes something as simple like you were adjusting a setting on the radio, something you've done hundreds and thousands of times while in your car, but at 1 second you didn't pay attention. You swerve your car a little bit.
And you can imagine 20 minutes of that.
It just goes, yeah. Can
you imagine 20 minutes of looking down at your car radio and not paying attention to the road? Mm-hmm. If you wouldn't do that, then why the hell are you putting a blindfold on?
Right? Exactly. Exactly.
It's ridiculous.
But there's some people like where we are, Canada, and the province we're in, they just pass some stricter rules, and it's like, really, they have to make the rules even harsher because people are still doing it. Like, I've been out on the road just in this last few weeks and have seen probably 4 people plus on their phone texting or calling. Well, there was a young guy who was just speeding, and he almost got somebody because he looked up, light was red, went like this, let off the brakes, started. Yeah, sorry. He looked down at his phone, stepped on the gas a little bit, and made the car not take off, but do what they call lurch, a heavy lurch forward, and he had to slam on the brakes, and we see him, and he falls forward towards the steering wheel. And and then we get up to the road, and like, he took off like a rocket, but traffic, we caught up to him again, and he's still looking down on his phone. Yeah. Like, you almost hit somebody, and you think it's still a good idea to...
Look at the guy who almost hit me and our 2 youngest because he sped through a red light. Yeah. Because he decided not to pay attention. Yeah. He actually came really, really close to hitting the buggy that they were in, and I cried.
Thankfully, we don't know how, we don't know why, but...
I had to align my wheels, or else I would have been out on the road already.
Yeah, she was going to go, and she tried to push it off the sidewalk.
And the wheels kind of turned sideways on me.
Yeah. So she had to take a step back and pull the buggy back to get the wheels to line up again. And that's when it happened. Red light. Pew.
Speeding, doing really faster than the speed limit. And, it's... If you're not responsible enough behind the wheel, don't get your driver's license. If you're not willing to take that responsibility, don't get your driver's license.
But...
And I understand a 16, a 17-year-old kid. They're just kids.
Yeah, but the thing of it is...
They're taking that responsibility.
Yeah, but what happens is they go, okay, I think I'm ready. And then, 16, 17... Probably like 17 to 18 is when they get...
I would say even like...
Graduated
20,
licensing here.
I'd say maybe even like early 20s.
20s, you have to be you're starting to drive by yourself, right? More often. And that... And, for the first little while, you're like, yeah, I'm responsible. And, I'm doing that. But then when you're getting a little older, 25, 30, you start getting lazy with it. You start, I've been driving for 10 years now, or
whereas I'm still the type of person who will count the 2 seconds behind, make sure that I'm behind somebody. If he's too close, I tell him to back off.
And in all fairness...
I do that often, not because he's actually close, but because I'm paranoid.
And in all fairness, when I end up really close to someone, it's not my fault. They've chosen to... slow down, and
slow down.
I'm trying to slow down, but they're slowing down quicker than I am. Then I get harder on the brakes, and then
they get harder on their brakes, and it's fun. But anyway, we should probably leave that here. Mm-hmm. We're at a decent time. Yeah. If you want to hear more about this, great. Let us know. If you want to add your own stupid stories, comments, let me know. We might even come up with one in which we read your stories.
Yeah, if that's something you guys would
that'd be fun.
Yeah.
I want to hear stories. I love hearing stupid kid stories.
Now, because of what some of how the copyright...
We need permission.
And that, just
that's all
make
right.
sure you type that we have full permission to use this story. And everything that you have typed on screen.
Let me see. What is there? You know what? I'll set up an email address and link it in the bio for your stories. So you send your stories to us and let us know that, hey, you want them featured, and we'll feature them. Mm-hmm. Please subscribe, comment, do all that fun stuff. I really, really, really want to hear from people. I want to know where you're from. I want to know, what's going on.
What's going on
with you?
Just leave us a
do you like what it is that we're doing?
Leave us a funny story from when you were a kid. Something kind of it's kind of, you look back on it and you go, yeah, that was kind of dumb, but I was only like 5. So in hindsight,
7.
It's funny now, right?
Yeah, so for sure, do that. I'd love to hear from you guys. We both love to hear from you guys. I know the kids really love to see comments on there.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. So we will leave this here. I will have where you can find us, or at least me. Do you want to be on Twitter on there? Do you want me to add you?
Yeah.
Might as well. Okay, so we'll add his Twitter, my Instagram, the Facebook page for us, and yeah. So, yeah. I don't know what else to do. I don't know how to end this yet. We'll figure it out.
Working on it.
All right. Thank you very much for listening. If you're here at this point,
Great.
You're awesome.
Thank you.
I love you. And we'll see you Thursday. We're going to try to go 2 days a week instead of just one. So it should be fun. All right. Bye.